Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Prime Time Local News. Connor Chan, Abby St. John here. Lots on the go today, including the question of the day. It's a big game for the Raptors tonight with the potential to win their first championship. So we asked on Facebook, are you going to watch the game? Which is obviously going to be a big deal for everybody in Canada, especially in Toronto because it's on home soil there.
Yes, I will be watching the game. Be my first NBA game that I've watched. I'll be watching all of its entirety.
Really?
So this should be interesting.
Very interesting. Of course, it is lots on the line. Hopefully the Raptors do come out on top, but we'll get to some of the numbers and a little more in depth of that later on the show. But right now, let's send over to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are talking about the Country Gospel Music Association. They're hosting their Canadian convention here in Lloydminster. Now, it'll be the first time actually here in Lloydminster. However, this one will actually be their 140th convention. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what they do actually in their convention. You know, there's some different programs that you can come out and join in, different categories for competing. So we are going to have all that and more coming up here tonight throughout the show. But first, we'll send it back into the studio and have a look at your local news.
The support for the Raptors runs deep across Canada, and for one man here in Lloydminster, he's using home court to show his passion for the team. Our Josh Park has the story.
The Toronto Raptors are going to be one win away from an NBA title.
2019 marks the year an NBA Finals game was played on Canadian soil for the first time. The Raptors, led by Kawhi Leonard, are doing things no Canadian team has done before, and the support for the Toronto squad spreads far across the country. Lloydminster is no exception. Kelly Simpson didn't take the route of a traditional Canadian kid. He's a basketball and a Raptors guy.
We never played hockey growing up. This wasn't something that we had played, neither me or my brother or sister, so basketball was just our thing. We all played basketball, and we all were pretty good at basketball as well.
A passion that he decided to transform into a home court. Simpson's love for the sport and the Raptors is now on display in his own garage.
I had a friend one night, we were at his place, he had an old hoop and ball, and he had a bigger garage, and we hung it up, and we were drinking some beers, and we shot hoops all night, and the next morning I was like, man, I think we got to build me a new house, because I was thinking of building a new house anyways, and I said, we got to do this, we got to put a basketball court in it. I said, I had so much fun at your place last night.
We the North is a slogan developed by the Raptors to recognize the team's Canadian roots. A slogan that now a whole country is cheering.
We the North, and it's like the one team for all of Canada. Like it really meant something. There's a lot of hardcore fans in this country for this team. Like it means something for us to win this, I think.
The Raptors will have an opportunity tonight to win the team's first NBA title in franchise history. In the case it happens, Simpson hopes that maybe the team could pass through Lloydminster and truly share the victory with all of Canada.
They say they're we the North. I was hoping they would, if they win, they'd bring the championship through Lloydminster. Out here maybe, but even just through our little town would be awesome.
Josh Park, Primetime Local News.
A local bodybuilder is closer to her goal of competing at the national level. Rachel Latimer, a 41-year-old married mother of 3, finished first in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation Canada Pro Masters Bikini event on May 18th in Winnipeg, earning herself the Pro Master card. The experience of finishing in first place had her feeling like she was on cloud 9.
It's pretty exciting. I'm really excited. When I was on stage, they called us all back up on stage, and then they told us to all go off the stage, and then they said they're going to call up the top 5. I didn't know whether I was going to cry or start to cheer. I was so excited. So it's pretty exciting. It's exciting to be able to go down to New York and compete down there.
Rachel started on her journey back in 2014. Since then, she has competed in 10 bikini competitions. Her family and gym buddies are very supportive of her commitment.
My last competition I was at when I was in Winnipeg, I took my youngest son along. He's like, Mom, he's like, you got this. I'm proud of you. He's like, just go out there and have fun. And so just giving me a little pep talk before the competition. It was awesome.
To prepare for Worlds down in New York, she plans on eating healthier than she already does, working harder and participating in more events. Her next competition, which is also her first Master Pro Bikini event, takes place in Edmonton in October. Earlier today, Boundary Ford made a generous donation towards the Lloydminster Rescue Squad.
On behalf of the Boundary Ford Gives Foundation, we would like to present the Rescue Squad with a brand new Special Edition 2019 Rescue Ranger.
They unveiled a brand new 2019 Polaris Ranger for them, which has many different features that will help the rescue squad further. The donation was made by Boundary Ford after realizing that a new vehicle like this will allow them to help the people of the border city and surrounding areas.
For us, and for myself, and being part of the Boundary Ford Gives initiative, I knew right away this was something that would directly affect our community and something that we definitely needed to be a part of, that we could.
The new vehicle will help benefit the rescue squad in many different ways.
We're taken back at the kindness and the generous donation that Boundary Ford Gives and Boundary Ford have given to us. It's a wonderful asset for us, and like I said, it's going to be used in our community, for the community, and it'll also prevent further injury to our members and hopefully assist in the search and rescue of other individuals that are lost.
The vehicle is for any season and various situations, as it features work for anything. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Well, we are here talking about the Country Music Gospel Association. They're hosting their Canadian convention right here in Lloydminster. That'll be next week, and Rhonda Rue joins me now. So first off, can you give a bit of an overview as to what the convention actually is?
Country Gospel Music Convention is musicians that gather from all the provinces of Canada to come together under one roof and to sing a lot, eat a lot, and encourage each other a lot. That's the gist of it.
And now this convention does run from the 17th until the 22nd. So what kind of events do you guys have going on over those 5 days?
We have a worship in the morning. We have teaching classes in the afternoon, how to record or just how to write a song. And then our evening is our categories.
All right, and now we will get a little bit more into the categories when we have some more time in the next interview. But you guys also do have some guests coming. I know Mayor Albers is coming, so can you talk about what he will be doing there as well?
Yes, Mayor Albers has accepted our invitation to come, and he will be giving us blessings at the beginning, our opening ceremony on Monday night.
All right, awesome, perfect. We're going to have a little bit more coming back from here that will be about that Country Music Gospel Association, their convention they are holding here next week. But first, we're going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Taking a look at current temperature right now, still cloudy outside. We did see some sun earlier in the day. Of course, we had a little period of showers, which that could be the trend over the next couple of days. So 17 degrees right now for our daytime high, with those winds reaching close to 20 kilometers an hour coming from the west there. 28 degrees is our warmest temperature on this day back in 1980, while 4 degrees is our coolest back in 1999. As we take a look at the satellite radar, we have lots of activity, lots of precipitation expected over the next 4 days or so, as we'll get to some more numbers in that in just a little bit. So some rain expected over the next little bit here for today, as well carrying over into tomorrow, but we do see a lot of precipitation and cloud coverage over this area for now. So take a look at some other current temperatures. 20 degrees in Cold Lake, 18 degrees in Athabasca, 17 in Edmonton and Red Deer, along with Jasper, 12 for Rocky Mountain House, 16 in Edson, and 15 degrees out in Whitecourt, 17 also out for Meadow Lake, 14 for Prince Albert, 18 in Melfort, and 24 degrees in Saskatoon, while 18 degrees for North Battleford. So as we take a look at a more in-depth look to our regional temperature, 7 degrees overnight in North Battleford with some clear skies and a few clouds, going to 19 tomorrow with some showers and a sun cloud mix there for the day. 6 degrees overnight in Cold Lake with some showers carrying over into tomorrow with a high of 19 degrees. Then for us here at Lloydminster, 6 degrees with some clouds in the sky for tending into tomorrow with a high of 19 degrees and some showers expected. We're expecting around 1 to 3 millimeters of rain for tomorrow, and then it'll gradually increase over the next couple of days, leading to Friday, where we could see close to 25 and some heavy rain there. So 65% chance of rain for us tomorrow here in Lloydminster. High at 23 on Wednesday. We could still see some rain as well, but a 16% chance. And then Thursday, a high of 23 again, but a 51% chance of some showers and also possibly a thunderstorm to go along with it. Again, like I said, a rainy kind of next couple of days here. Cloud coverage expected, but that's a first look at your weather. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
The RCMP have always been dedicated to finding ways to better serve the community to ensure that residents are safe. In this week's retrospect, I take a look at what the RCMP are doing today to help reduce crime within the city.
The city and RCMP are pouring through the data that was just released in a new methodology study.
What it told us is some things that we suspected, but we've never actually seen them sort of evaluated or examined in a way that actually brought some true facts out.
One of the purposes of the report was to outline how officers use their time and how to provide an effective level of service.
The bottom line is the report confirms that this is a very busy city for policing. There's very little or no downtime for officers. It looks at minimum levels of service that we have for those members to do their jobs, and it recommends that we add to the number there.
Flash forward to today, and the RCMP have created a crime reduction unit due to a large amount of community feedback relating to theft.
Lloydminster RCMP is always focusing on crime and how do we reduce crime within our community. This year we reached out to the community through a survey asking what they see as issues that they want to see the police deal with through the coming year, and a lot of concerned citizens are talking about property crime, theft of motor vehicles, theft from their motor vehicles, stuff like that. So we listened and we made our annual performance plan, and crime reduction is a huge part of that.
The crime reduction unit's main focus is to be present within the community to help reduce the amount of theft and other crime.
We target offenders that we know are committing some of the crimes within the community. We target hotspots where this crime is happening, and we patrol those areas to ensure that there's a high visibility of police presence in those types of neighborhoods within our city.
Staff Sergeant Knelson says to help decrease the chances of theft happening to you is to make sure your vehicles are always locked and nothing valuable is in sight.
Never leave your vehicle running. Somebody's going to take it. If it's out in your driveway and you're warming it up or running it, just take the keys out, don't leave it running. If you're going away, have somebody, your neighbor, looking after your house. Make sure you leave some lights on, maybe get floodlights that perhaps are motion censored, so that if somebody does come on your property, it lights up and it might scare them away.
And that's it for this week's Retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
And now we're going to take a look at your stock market prices for today.
We restore more than just property. We restore hope. When disaster strikes, call the one that can make it right. First General Services, your property restoration experts.
Welcome back. Well, plant-based meat company Beyond Meat's shares soared after it beat Wall Street's expectations in its first earnings report since its first public stock sale in May. According to financial data company FactSet, Beyond Meat lost 14 cents per share in the first quarter, adjusted for stock-based compensation costs and other items, but it was better than the 15-cent loss analysts had forecast, according to FactSet. The California-based company reported revenue of $40.2 million, more than triple the prior year, which also beat Wall Street's forecast of $39 million. The Canadian Crop Hail Association says this year's weather conditions are similar to last year, which saw some of the most severe storms ever across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. The group, which represents insurers for agricultural hail damage, says crop seedlings like canola and peas can be affected by early hailstorms, so it recommends that producers have hailstorm coverage in place early in the season. A June 14th storm last year destroyed crops across 3 provinces. The association says some insurers reported it to be one of the costliest June storms on record. And that's all for ag. Sports is next, but first, here's a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Despite their best showing of the season, the Northwest Prairie Pirates still haven't found the consistency they're looking for. The 18U Ball Club hosted 2 teams from Regina over the weekend, splitting both doubleheaders. A 13-3 loss and an 8-3 win on Sunday, the second of which had 6 innings from pitcher Logan Schmall, were a perfect contrast of what the staff is looking for.
Games that we end up losing, we end up slipping away, and it's kind of a big blowout, so we just need to be more consistent, and we were able to do that on both of our wins.
Those 2 games also demonstrated how important every earned run is.
Especially in this league, I mean, high school league, anybody can go off for 8-9 runs, so insurance runs are huge.
The Pirates have a bye week before their next home stand, where they will face the Saskatoon Giants. High school track provincials took place in both provinces this weekend, and athletes from both Lloydminster high schools came away with hardware. Barron's sprinter Blake Killam had the biggest result, capturing gold in the 100-meter final with a time of 11.03, just edging out of the 3-time defending Sask champion and reigning junior national champion. Alex Deal in triple jump and Clayton Schmidt in shot put earned bronze. Holy Rosary came away with 2 silver medals courtesy of Sarah Schwab in junior 80-meter hurdles and Jake Fleming in junior high jump. Nearly 50 athletes in total from Lloydminster competed over the weekend. No matter the level of preparation, any outdoor sporting event is at the mercy of Mother Nature. That was the case this weekend for the second stop of the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association 2019 season. All 3 days in Maskwacis were cancelled due to weather and track conditions. This puts even more importance on the points earned from the next few stops before the Calgary Stampede. Still leading the field heading into Dewberry this weekend are Brad McMahon and Todd Baptiste and Dale Mitsuing. And now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here talking about the Country Gospel Music Association, their Canadian convention that is coming up here starting on June 17th, and Wanda Rue joins me once again. And now we did kind of touch on there are a few different categories people can come out and perform in over that week. So what are some of those categories that people can come out in?
We have 42 different categories, and some of those are songwriter. We have a cappella ensemble. We have whistler, yodeler. We have female entertainer, female vocalist, male entertainer. There's just a wide range.
And now those are available for people actually from Lloyd to come out and participate in. So how do they actually come out? Maybe is there a sign up or anything that they can come out and join in and show off what their skills are?
Yes, if they can't make it till that evening, they can sign up and register at the convention. Or they can text me and I will call them back with information and give them the daily schedule. That's what a lot of people have been doing, is texting me. So it really does help.
And now you did also, we talked a little bit off camera about how it's not all, work and competing. You guys also do some jam sessions afterwards. Can you talk a little bit about how those kind of work and maybe foster a bit of sense of community?
One thing about the jam sessions that we do after the categories is it pulls everybody together, and those that are just struggling and just learning, like I learned so much by sitting in those jam sessions. I'm a self-taught guitar player and not a very good one. So by jamming with them, I learned so much, right?
And now I also forgot to also ask you about what kind of age ranges are available for those categories if people do want to show up?
It ranges from 3 years old and up. There's no set limit on ages.
All right, awesome, perfect. Thank you so much once again. We're going to have a little bit more back from here about that Gospel Music Association, their Canadian convention they are holding here next week. But first, we're going to go back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Take a look at some other current temperatures right now. 17 still for us here in Lloydminster. Still have some cloud coverage hovering above us. 17 also in Marwayne and Pierceland. 18 degrees in Bonnyville. 20 degrees for Cold Lake right now. 13 in Lac La Biche. 18 also out in Vermilion. 19 for St. Paul and Vegreville. 17 degrees in Edmonton. 17 also out in Wainwright. 18 for Provost. 22 in Macklin. 18 is also out in Maidstone and North Battleford. 17 is also out in Meadow Lake, Green Lake, and Isle La Crosse. While St. Walburg sits at a 16 degrees right now. So 15 right now in La Loche currently. 15 also out for Buffalo Narrows. 18 in La Ronge. 12 for Flin Flon. 14 degrees in South End, 10 degrees out in Stony Rapids, 11 in Uranium City, 15 also out in Fort Chippewa, 18 degrees for Fort McMurray, 17s in both Slave Lake and Peace River, 16 for High Level, and 19 degrees for Grand Prairie. As we take a look at southern Alberta, 22s in both Medicine Hat and Lethbridge, 19 degrees in Calgary, 15 in Banff, and 21 degrees in Coronation. As we shift to southern Saskatchewan, Kindersley sitting at 22 degrees, Swift Current sitting at 21, Moose Jaw and Estevan are sitting at 23 degrees, and 24 degrees for Regina currently, and Yorkton sitting at 22. As we take a look at temperatures for tomorrow around the region here, 19 degrees mostly along with 20s. Now, I did mention there is a 60% chance that we could see some showers tomorrow, and of course over the next couple of days or so, as we are going to be experiencing some rain at probably the longest period that we've had so far this year, where we've had back-to-back days of some showers. So 19 for us tomorrow, 19 also out in Maidstone and North Battleford, 18 in St. Walburg tomorrow, 20s for Meadow Lake, Green Lake, and Isle La Crosse, 19 for Pierceland and Cold Lake, 18 also out in Bonnyville, 21 degrees tomorrow in Edmonton, 20s also out in Vermilion, Vegreville, Wainwright, and Provost, and 19 degrees for Marwayne tomorrow. As we take a look at the next 48 hours in terms of precipitation, now it might start a little bit earlier on, as there has been that 60% chance I did mention, so it could start creeping in as we do see some of that areas coming in the cloud coverage, and by Wednesday we could see some starting to die down a little bit, and then by Wednesday afternoon there we could see that up to maybe that over 5 millimeters of rain. So we could see that rain tomorrow and along with Wednesday as well. If you take a look at the school day forecast for tomorrow, 11 degrees sitting at 8 a.m. with some sun and cloud mix there. Recess sitting at sun and cloud mix as well with a high of 15. Lunchtime we could start seeing that rain there. 18 degrees as well for home time, which will be closer to the daytime high with some showers as well. So here's the next 7 days. 19 for us tomorrow as mentioned, 23 on Wednesday, 23 also on Thursday with a 51% chance of some showers and even possibly a thunderstorm. Another 55% chance we'll see some rain on Friday, 62% on Saturday with a high of 21 for also Friday and Saturday, and 22 degrees on Sunday, where we should see a break from the rain with mostly sunny skies and a few clouds, and then 55% chance we could see some more rain on Monday with a high there of 25 with that sun and cloud mix. But that's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here talking about the Country Gospel Music Association, their Canadian convention that is coming up here. That'll be next week, June 17th until the 22nd. Their first time actually in Lloydminster, and Wanda Rue joins me here once again. And now you've been to these for a few times now. So can you talk about what kind of your experience has been and how it's kind of helped you grow as an artist yourself?
The first one I went to, I didn't know anybody. And I got in and I started listening to people saying about, okay, what am I doing here, you know? And there was a couple of ladies that saw the expression on my face, and they said, no, it'll be fine. And it was the best decision I ever made to stay, because they were just full of encouragement. And the president and his wife, just they latch onto people and they love on people, and that's what his ministry is. That's what his vision is. So for me personally, I have grown so much. To the point that I'm helping them do conventions now. So for me, that's overwhelming sometimes, that if I look back 10 years ago where I was struggling with my music to now, and the confidence that it brought out, but also the amount of people I've been able to meet as a result of that, and the stuff that I've experienced both on stage and off stage. So it built good confidence.
And you mentioned that confidence and also the encouragement you kind of received. So talking about that, you also talked a little bit about now kind of how does that sense of community with a few of the other different places around town, and also, you know, maybe if somebody maybe needs kind of some of that confidence and help, how does an environment like this, how is this good for maybe a younger artist kind of starting out?
Well, for me, like, because I'm working off of what I experienced myself. And so for me, it was like to tap into those areas and remembering how hard it was. and encouraging them. It isn't about being the best. It's about doing what you love to do first and foremost. And if there's a vision, then you have to have hope for that. So we try to instill hope, both in the younger generation, but also in the older generation. You know, it's not just about young kids, though I love kids and that's my key, but it's about older people too.
All right, awesome, perfect. Thank you so much once again for joining us. We're going to have a little bit more about their Canadian convention, but first we're going to go back into the studio.
All right, so the question of the day today, it's a big game for the Toronto Raptors as they're getting set very soon to take on Golden State for Game 5, the chance to win it all on home soil. So we asked on Facebook today, are you going to watch the game? And it was pretty 50-50. 50% are going to watch it, 50% are not going to watch. And of course, we learned a few minutes ago that Kevin Durant is going to play in Game 5, which should maybe give the Warriors an extra bit of boost. But nonetheless, for Canada, I mean, this is huge. Like, this is probably one of the biggest things that has happened, especially in Toronto, because the Leafs aren't making the play. Leafs didn't win the Cup, and you know, it's just big for Canada as a whole in sports.
Yeah, I think not even just Canada, but I think the fact that, you know, the Toronto Raptors, they're the only NBA team in Canada, and they're en route to beating, you know, reigning champs in 5 games. I mean, I think that's a pretty huge deal no matter where you live.
Exactly, and of course globally the Raptors have done a lot to help grow the game, especially here in Canada as well. We do have a lot of good Canadian players as well, like Steve Nash, and just to name a few. But right now, of course, it's that time of the show. Just before we wrap up here, it's Pets of the Day today. It's a new week, so new chance to win a $50 gift card to Lloydminster Pet Pad. This is Moxie, who's going to start things off.
Looks very happy for a car ride.
Very adorable. This is Megan. She's just trying to eat dinner in peace.
Yeah, just wants to be left alone.
Next we have Diesel, who doesn't enjoy Mondays.
Just tuckered out.
Just a little tired.
Yeah.
This is Daisy, whose birthday it was not too long ago.
Adorable.
But there's no food on the plate.
Probably ate it.
Yeah, but very adorable. And then this is Bella to wrap things up. Very cute puppy indeed. Well, if your pet was shown on today, you're automatically entered to win a Lloydminster Pet Pad gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Welcome back to Prime Time. Josh and Buck talking sports. First time on the new
this
Decorum.
is kind of like Navajo Josh's Lounge kind of thing.
Oh, I wish
so
my
are we
lounge was this
talking
nice.
fishing and hunting, or are we talking sports? Because it kind of feels like we're at some kind of cottage, or of course here in Western Canada we call it cabins, and we're sitting back enjoying a Monday night.
Well, I feel like that's the best atmosphere to talk sports, to be honest.
That's true.
And
that's
probably
true,
the best atmosphere to talk things like politics as well, considering the
don't get me started with
atmosphere.
politics, but
Yeah.
we could be on here for an hour.
That's true. At least it would be a more relaxed hour than in the comfort of our homes often, unfortunately, is. Starting in the world of local sports, it was an exciting one for the Lloydminster Comprehensive Barons. Blake Killam, a grade 12 athlete, has been a star track athlete for them, as well as performing with some of the other teams, including volleyball, is now a provincial champion in Saskatchewan. So a successful maiden voyage into Saskatchewan track athletics. He runs a 11.03 in the 100 meters, beating the 3-time defending Saskatchewan champion in that age group and the current national junior champion as well. So a huge victory for Blake Killam, winning by just a hair, as you can see in the video we're playing for you right now.
Yeah, he just pulled away at the end there, but he had a constant stride for that 100 meters, and then right at the end, a great lunge at the end to pull out, and he just didn't beat somebody. He beat one of the best runners in all of Canada. So that's an amazing, amazing feat for him.
Absolutely, and as you said before, starts their maiden voyage off quite well. 2 additional medal winners, including Alex Deal in triple jump, finished with a bronze medal there. Holy Rosary also got a pair of silver medals on the junior side of things here in Alberta, including Sarah Schwab, as you can see here, wins in the 80-meter hurdles amid a little bit of rainy conditions.
Yeah, interesting when it's raining like that, and that track is not greatest for rain. It's a rubber. And we have the same here in Holy Rosary, or actually Loy Comp. And more than anything, that rubber, sometimes you don't get the grip. and then you're jumping hurdles at the same time and running against and running into the rain. So amazing what she did in that conditions and to coming that close to winning gold. But silver's great too.
Absolutely. Now, another team that had some success over the weekend, though not as much as they wanted, was the Northwest Prairie Pirates. They split their two home weekend series with two different Regina teams, the A's and the Wolfpack, and they were hoping for 3-1, settle for 2-2. Still just not as consistent as they'd like, especially with blowing leads.
Yeah, it could be worse. You're 2-2. You get 500 the weekend, but it could be better. Yeah, they wanted 3-1. They're not content with 2-2, and it makes it now going forward for the rest of the season for them to qualify provincials a bit of an uphill climb right now.
Indeed, because they basically have to go at least 500 plus a win or two here and there, and ultimately to get that record, you're going to need more than just consistency. You're going to need a couple of really stellar outings from pitching.
You need to get on a roll more than anything. That's what they need. They need to win 4 or 5 games in a row. They need to get on a bit of a streak, and they need it right now.
And just want to touch on this quickly. Unfortunately, there was no CPCA action this weekend. Weather and track conditions made that so. I know you were driving through some snow on your way there. What does this mean for the rest of the drivers going forward?
Well, you have 3 race days in Musqueam that got rained out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It just means 3 days of points that go down for nothing. So now going forward, it's just another 3 days off the race schedule, which makes it more important as you go continue along here in the CPCA Pro Tour to get those points up now. And they go to Dewberry this weekend. Knock on wood, Mother Nature will cooperate, and you get 3 point days in that are much needed for a lot of drivers.
And I know some of the guys who had bad first weekends in North Battleford, they'll need especially good weekends for the next couple weeks ahead of the Calgary Stampede.
Hey, it's Sarah from Real Country 97.7, and here's your look at what's going on in St. Paul this week. Hope you've cleared your schedule because Centerfield Music Festival is this weekend. On Friday the 14th, join Boom 95.3, Boom 103.5, and CFCW for Stark Road, the 100th Meridian, Captain Tractor, and the main event, Loverboy. Saturday, everything will be kicking off around 2 p.m., and you can join me and CFCW for Justin Hogg, Mike Plume Band, Danny Hooper, Dan Davidson, and the main event, Emerson Drive. Tickets are available online at www.centerfieldmusicfestival.com. Don't miss your chance to head to the Lakeland's premier music festival. More information on this one is up realcountrystpaul.ca/events. I'm Sarah, and that was your look at what's going on this week in St. Paul.
Canada's new team, the Toronto Raptors, they are about to take part in an historic event for Canadian basketball and Canadian sports in general. As we haven't had a winner since 1993. That's right, the Raptors are taking on the Warriors. Game 5,
jersey.
Chance to win. I know, I was very happy that after I bought this, Kawhi Leonard hit that Game 7 shot, because otherwise that would have aged probably differently. I think it's fair to say that they're finally the betting favorites, and from your perspective, unless Kevin Durant makes a miraculous recovery, that they're in good shape in this game.
Yeah, here's my question. If you watch all the post-game news conferences and you see the questions coming from the American media to anybody from the Raptors, to anybody from Golden State, the lack of respect the American media is giving the Raptors right now. The Raptors are far better team than the Warriors. The Warriors have superstars, don't get me wrong. Kevin Durant can make a difference tonight, may not, because that's how good the Raptors are playing. The Raptors could be shooting 25 to 30% during a quarter, but yet they still find a way to win. That's a good team. So, and then the lack of respect that all these big-time media stars down in the U.S. are giving the Raptors, it would be nice to see the Raptors shove it right down there, you-know-what's, here tonight.
You heard it first from Buck here on Primetime Local News. You're not wrong, though, as that has been the case basically with that market since the beginning, and it must be cathartic for many fans who, even when the Raptors were good, they were still kind of a joke because they'd always lose out in the first round. And to see that, see the tables turned, it's you got to, as you're saying, you're not happy with the media coverage, But are you not maybe enjoying a little bit of Stephen A. Smith saying they made us look like absolute idiots?
He's one of few that come out and say, and then there's other ones who are saying, okay, if they put Durant back in the lineup, Warriors are going to go on to win. What have you missed in those 3 wins? Yeah. And honestly, game 2 could have went the Raptors' way. We could be talking about a championship right now, and I think more than anything, what he has done for basketball across this country, and it's probably killed the NHL playoff ratings. But it's great to see. You got Raptors fans. You're wearing a jersey. You got people in Regina watching the game on a big screen. You have theaters across the country watching the game. It's tremendous that a lot of broken ankles jumping on the bandwagon, but the Raptors will take it.
And we'll take all those folks jumping on the bandwagon in case some of you still haven't, like Abby St. John in this building. We want all of you to join for this historic game. Again, it gets underway at 7 p.m. Game time decision, as of this recording, we have not seen any news that Kevin Durant will play or not. So, as you said, even if he plays, it's not a guarantee that they win. But how is it safe to say that they're put a fork in him if he doesn't?
No, even if he does play, where is he at? Is he 40%? Is he 60%? Is he 100%? He's not going to be 100%. So even if he's 50 or 60, he's a superstar basketball player. But is he going to be, his 50%, is it going to be enough for Golden State to make up what they're missing? And really, Curry's been average. He's been okay. He's been Curry, but he hasn't been that legit guy that is carrying that team like Kawhi is.
Absolutely. Now, really quick, we got to touch on 2 things. One is the NHL playoffs, and they could have had a chance to crown the champion last night. Boston shuts the door. Do you favor them in Game 7?
Yeah. St. Louis is going to look back to last night going, oh, we had our chance, and now we have to go to Boston and play there on Wednesday night. It's going to be tough. But if any team that can bounce back, the Blues could. And you've seen it before in the playoffs. And it's very fitting that as wild and wacky as the NHL playoffs have been, it comes down to 1 game.
And 10 seconds or less, give us a look at tomorrow's sports show.
Jeff Blair from Sportsnet will join us talking about the Raptors' big victory tonight. Also, we'll talk to Wade Wright, our NHL insider. And Roddy Ross is off to the NHL draft, Medal Lake goalie, as he's ranked 17th among North American goalies.
That's exciting news as well. So be sure to enjoy that and enjoy the rest on Primetime Local News.